Hello, welcome to Hike, Arizona. Let's talk about Route Manager, one of the most popular tools on site. We're going to click on Map. We're going to go to the Route Manager tab. I'm going to click on Help and Instructions so I can read you this first paragraph right here. A route is a collection of tracks and or waypoints. Waypoints are also known as POIs, point of interest. This console allows you to create and or edit routes. Routes can be downloaded for your GPS. So you can plan a hike, load it to your GPS, then you could go on your hike, you could come back and you could load it back into Route Manager and you could edit it. So let's go over the basics. Up in this upper left corner of the map, you see a track and a waypoint. You would click these to add them to the map. If you hover over it, it tells you add track, add waypoint. We have our file system. It's kind of like cloud computing. Route Manager is an online application. It's kind of like software that's available anywhere that you are online. You don't have to install anything. You can download routes that you create and edit, and then we can clear the console. Let's go ahead and let's go to the very basic. We're going to add a track. It tells you to click on the map to add a point, and then you can click another point, and this is how you create tracks, by clicking the map. You can always go back and move those points by dragging them. The transparent ones in the middle, we could create a new point there, and it always gives you the option to do that. Click a point to remove it. Alright, let's do one more. We're just doing some random tracks here. Usually you would probably be zoomed in, maybe on satellite view, to something that you're familiar with. Okay, let's check out some options now that we have two tracks here. I'm going to click on a track and it brings up a menu. We can split, join, and do other functions to it. Let's go ahead and let's join it to this other track. I'm going to click it again, which will cancel that, because I want to tell you something about joining. Joining goes where you click the track. If I click over here, it's going to join from this end. If I click over here, it'll go from this end. If you click in the middle, who knows, it's going to do calculations. It's best to click closest to the end you're interested in joining. So let's try it again. We're going to join. And do I want to join it to here, or do I want to join it to here? I want to go to here. See how nice that worked? It would be good to create a name and save it to the Has Cloud. When you're working on routes, you would also want to periodically save while you're working on it. Let's go ahead and create a waypoint. The waypoint is going to go at the center crosshair in the map when we add one. Boom, there it is. You can change the symbol, and you can type a name, comment, and whatnot. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to tracks. Now that you know the basics of it, let's show you how to do an out and back. Let's say that this huge hike here across the entire state of Arizona, you wanted to do an out and back. Well, we could click the track and we could clone it. Now you see we have two tracks over here. The yellow's on top. If we want to bring the black up, we just click that black square. Click the color that you want to see on top. Alright, and since, as I said, we want to do an out and back, we're going to join it. So let's join, and it'll automatically pull up the other color, but you could go over here and click it if you didn't see it. It's the yellow we want to join to. And now this is one huge track. To be sure, we can look at a profile, and it should be a mirror image. And it is. This was halfway, and then it's the exact same thing in the other direction. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear. Let's look at two more ways. So that was creating a track from scratch. Let's say you are looking at someone else's GPS route. I'm going to right click for my context menu, I'm going to see what GPS routes are in this area. Here we go. Let's click that one. Okay, this guy uploaded a GPS route. I can send it to Route Manager. Boom, there it is. I'm going to right click my context menu, switch over to terrain, makes it easier to view. And then we could go in here and we could start editing it. I could split it, whatnot. I could download it, send it to my GPS. Let's look at one more way. Let's say you have a GPS unit. The most popular is Garmin. If you've bought one in the last few years, it probably has a USB cable and you just plug it in. Let's click on File System. I already have mine plugged in. Select Files. This brings up the computer file system. I can see my Garmin is plugged in over here. I'm going to click it. I'm going to go into the Garmin folder. And then the key is GPX. GPX is the universal format for GPS routes. Route Manager supports other formats, but if possible, use GPX. Okay, inside, right now I'm looking inside the folder, inside my GPS unit. I'm going to go to the current, which was my last hike. I'm going to pull up that current GPX, and it's going to load it. Boom! There's the hike that I just did. I can start doing things to this, like I can view an elevation profile. GPS units don't do a very good job of collecting elevation data. They're really good at collecting position, but elevation they don't do very good. Hike Arizona has a system. We reduce the tracks to 10 feet. That eliminates overlaps when you're not moving very fast. Then you do B, we're going to resync the elevation. This is going to sync it to the best known elevation data collected. And it takes about 4 to 5 seconds per 1,000 points. I had a 4,000 point track there, so this could take about 20 seconds. It should be almost done. And then when it is done, we're going to do one more thing. Boom. It recreated that GPS profile. This right now is way more accurate than the elevation data that the GPS route or the GPS receiver can collect. We would save it, and then we could do a couple things. We could send it to post, which means we could post it to the main website. We could download it, share it with a friend. We could save it. You can also share things in the file system with your friends. Those are some of the basics. Check out some of the other tutorials for further information.